Hello, welcome to some kind of vlog. I realise I've backed myself into a bit of a corner with vlogging, so I've decided to just start this vlog. Context: a couple of videos ago I was like, man, I'm really rubbish at vlogging, and then I did like a days in the life vlog where I like pretty intensely vlogged for a couple of days, and now I'm kind of at a point where I'm like, I'm not doing anything. Like, I'm not vlogging, I'm not really reading an awful lot, I'm feeling really slumpy. The feedback on the other vlog where I was saying how I'm a terrible vlogger and maybe I should quit was so incredibly heartwarming, so thank you so much to everybody who commented on that vlog to say that they enjoyed my videos, or they were forgiving of me just being terrible at it, or didn't need to be forgiving because I'm just human, and that you still enjoy my content no matter what it is and when it is. That honestly means so much to me, to know that you are just happy with me being the way I am. So that's incredible. But I have backed myself into a corner of being like, I can't start another vlog until I've got a plan for a vlog. So I'm like, I need to make sure I've got time to do like a proper shelf reflections vlog, or I need to have a proper theme, so I need to be in the mood to read a bunch of things of a certain theme, or this, that, or the other. So I just wasn't starting a vlog. So I, this evening at 11:20 on a Saturday night, have decided I'm just going to start a vlog. I don't have a plan. I don't know what this is going to be, but I want to start a vlog. And right now, Jake's away on his stag do. I'm home alone. I've got nothing really to be doing. I've spent so much of my time watching Smosh Games videos, because that has just been me doing like nothing, having lazy brain time. It's just been watching Smosh Games videos. I love it. I really want to play Ultimate Werewolf, but I do not have a group of friends big enough to play Ultimate Werewolf. But I really want to play it. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, and I really just need to stop being in this mindset of I need like a proper theme in order to do a vlog. So I'm just gonna start the vlog, and here we are, and we'll see how it goes. What I do really want to do right now is build these. This is what I want to do. These little figurine thingy-majiggies, I can't even read what they are. They're 3D jigsaw puzzles of things from Studio Ghibli movies. So we've got Cat Bus and Gigi. Cat Bus is from My Neighbour Totoro. Gigi is from Kiki's Delivery Service, which I am really also in the mood to watch. So I might stick that on when I go to bed, to like have on in the back. I've watched it so many times, so I can fall asleep to it quite easily. But these have just been sitting on my shelf since my hen do, because Gavin, bless his soul, have I ever told you how much I love Gavin? Gavin bought me these because I was eyeing them up in this little shop and was like, they're so cute, but I'm not going to buy them. And then Gavin just grabbed them off me, because he's just the kindest soul and he's so giving, and I bloody love that man so much. So I want to build them. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Maybe, I'm pretty sure Kiki's Delivery Service might be on Netflix. But maybe I'll put some Netflix on my computer and sit here and build these whilst watching Kiki's Delivery Service, because I really want to watch it. And that is how we're going to start this vlog. I'm not reading anything. I'm building little 3D jigsaw puzzles and watching Studio Ghibli, because that makes me very happy. And in other news, something that I'm excited to get into at some point soon is this pack of markers from Ohuhu. This. I have been dying to try Ohuhu markers, because you know how cozy colouring is like blowing up on social media. Everyone loves a spot of cozy colouring. Ohuhu. Very kindly have sent me this box of colouring pens, and like colouring with an audiobook is such a relaxing thing to do. So I also think at some point in this vlog I'm gonna get myself an audiobook of something, I don't know what yet, and do some colouring and like organise them and stuff. So thank you very much to Ohuhu for gifting me these. I will tell you how I find them as I use them a little bit later in this vlog, but I just wanted to shout out that as a possibility. I've been very much in a crafty sort of mood lately and not a reading mood so much. So maybe I do need to find an audiobook, but maybe not tonight. I think tonight is going to be stick some Studio Ghibli on, make these little puzzles, and probably go to bed because it's already really late. But I just wanted to like rip the band-aid off and start this vlog and get myself out of that headspace of I need to have a proper theme or it needs to be the right time. Even if this just turns into a like cozy hobbies sort of vlog with the puzzles and the scrapbooking and the colouring. And I'm actually going out to paint pottery tomorrow, which I'm really excited about. So maybe that's what this becomes. Maybe that's the theme, but I don't need a theme. We're just gonna vlog. We're just gonna hang. We're just gonna chill. We're gonna have a good time. Good morning. It is just gone 10 a.m. I'm going to be leaving the house at about past to go to do pottery painting. I'm really excited. Ever since reading The Healing Season of Pottery, I have had this itch to do something with pottery. Obviously, I can't make anything. I am not that skilled. But me and Freddie are going to like a pottery painting studio. It's just started raining, but it's still so hot. I'll be fine. Yeah, we're going to go to a pottery painting studio and paint stuff. I'm going to paint a mug. I don't know what I'm going to paint on it yet, but I'm going to paint a mug. So I'm going to bring you along so you can watch a little bit of the painting with us. But yeah, I thought that would be cute. Also, I think I've decided what I want to read. I think I have decided... Oh, that shelf is really wedged in tight. That I want to read Paladin's Grace by T. Kingfisher. This is my Patreon buddy read for the month of July. There is an audiobook for this. I know I like T. Kingfisher. I think something about this is like cozy. I'm not really sure. I've heard differing opinions on that one. I think this is what is calling me. So I'm going to read Paladin's Grace. I won't start it until later tonight after we're back from pottery. Obviously, I'm not going to be reading whilst doing that. I just thought I'd let you know that I've made a choice. So then, whilst listening to an audiobook, I can do some colouring with my new pens, and I'm very excited about that. There's also a colouring book that I'm excited to try that they sent as well. This is the Ohuhu stuff, their colouring book, and apparently this has like bleed-proof paper, which is exciting, and they're all just like portraits of ladies, but I was having a flick through and there's some like vampire girl, fairy in a bottle. Like, I think that one would be really cute. I'm going to do some of them, and they're just like the bold, sort of easy colouring. Portraits of Joy. But I'm excited to see how bleed-proof the paper is on that, because some other colouring books I have tried have not been bleed-proof at all, and I have a piece of cardboard in between that is now just this mess of colours. So I'm excited to see how bleed-proof that actually is, and I can listen to my audiobook whilst I do it. So that might be a project for later tonight. Also, see, I'm just on such a like hobbies, doing, creating sort of vibe right now, because I also really want to make this. This is a little Eevee Mega Blocks, like, tile pixel art thing. It's kind of like Lego, but not Lego. And this was gifted to me by Sophie for my birthday. Thank you very much, Sophie, for this. I'm excited. I think it'll look really cute, and it's got like a little clear base plate thing to stand on, and I can put it up on my Pokemon shelf, which might need a reshuffle, because it's a little bit full, but I'll cross that bridge later. Anyway, I'm gonna make a move and go do some pottery. My battery is so nearly dead because I recorded pretty much all of us painting pottery, which is going to be like 2 hours of footage, but hopefully I'll be able to speed that up enough that it doesn't take 2 hours for you to watch it. I'll clip it down, but I definitely forgot that I left the camera recording the whole time. So I've got you plugged in now, but whoops a daisy. Pottery painting was really fun. It was very relaxing. Me and Freddie were just chilling, chatting, painting, very much quiet brain time, which was really nice. And our mugs should be ready next week. I did little oranges, obviously. Freddie did little flowers with her green insides as well. So we were very on brand for each other. Freddie is very much a green, planty sort of girl. I am orange. Would you believe it? And then, after that, we went to a bookshop. Because of course we did. So we went to Waterstones, and I did pick up a couple of books. This one I had not heard of, but look at those edges. This is The Prince Without Sorrow. Just beautiful. And then I looked on the back, and it said, "Welcome to the Ran Empire, buzzword, where winged serpents fly through the skies. Winged serpents? Are there dragons? Giant creatures prowl the earth, witches burn blue as they die, and fate rests in the hands of sworn enemies." We've got fate, we've got dragons, we've got an empire. So that sounded very much up my street. And then the map, like the detail, it looks very much like my sort of thing. A prince born into violence. A witch seeking revenge, a curse that will change the world. Drawing on inspiration from the Mauryan Empire of ancient India. Debut author, first book of the Obsidian Throne trilogy. I'd never heard of it, but it had a lot of buzzwords for me, and it was beautiful, so I picked this one up. And then I also picked up The Enchanted Greenhouse by Sarah Beth Durst, which is the sequel to The Spell Shop, which is a cozy fantasy, which I read and loved last year, and there's snow on it. Cute. So yeah, a cute little cozy fantasy as well. Two very different vibes, but happy with my purchases. So that is that. And I'm now home. It was a pretty long day. It's now nearly 4 o'clock already. So I think now my plan is going to be to actually do some reading, and I am going to start Paladin's Grace. I believe that this is on Audible, so I can audiobook it at the same time as reading or whilst doing some colouring, because I do want to do the colouring with the Ohuhu stuff. Right, so that is downloading, so I will have the audiobook and I can get started on this. I might immersion read like the first couple of chapters to get to grips with like the writing, the voice, etc. And then I think I'm gonna get these beauties out and put them all in the organizer that I've got set up here. I've got this organizer, it echoes, so I can have all the colours lined up properly, and then it will make it really easy to grab colours as I go. So I'll set that up and I'll have that sat on my windowsill, which I can reach from my desk, and then my colours will all be nice and organised and I can listen to that at the same time, and then I'm gonna do some colouring. I have spent so much time colouring with these new Ohuhu markers, and I am having an absolute blast. I'm going to show you what I have done so far. In their colouring book, by the way, this is their colouring book with the bleed proof paper, where I was all like, I'll be the judge of that, can confirm it is bleed proof paper. And I have been layering some of these, like to get some of these shadows, like the pens blend really well. They're alcohol markers, so like they layer really nicely, like the hair being like, I don't know if you can see how I've got like darker bits at the roots where it's just like the layering of the pen, and same on the jumper here, like lighter in the middle where it would be like hit with light and then darker on the edges. Like that's lots of layering of the pens and no bleeding. No, because there's another picture the other side where I've done a similar sort of thing. Like, I don't know if you can see on the face, like I've got like the what shade is this? Like barely beige, I think. And then layered like some blushy pink on it. Like maybe that was like powder pink or something to like build up a bit more of a face shape, because really in terms of face shape, all she has is nostrils on the illustration. So to build up more of a structure, like done that with the layering of the pens. I really liked it. And then I went really pink over here. And again, like I've used lots of different pinks in the hair of this one to try and give it more texture. And then a little pattern down the bottom on that one. Then I skipped a couple. And then this is the one I'm currently doing. I've gone for a red head over here. Have not completed that one. But I think my favourite one that I have done, like, oh, I forgot I did hair. I did hair as well with the blue hair. Probably shouldn't have given her blue eyebrows. In hindsight, maybe not blue eyebrows. But I liked her as well. But my favourite one so far has been... I love her. I love her so much. And I am particularly impressed with the hair on this one, because this was the first time I tried to give the hair texture using just one pen. Just one pen, and I was able to get so many different, like, tones by layering the marker. And I just think it was really impressive that I was able to do that and it work, and it also not, like, pull up the paper or bleed in any way. You know how sometimes when you, like, colour over the same thing multiple times and you can, like, rip up the paper and the paper almost, like, piles? It hasn't done that. And I really like how it looks, like, again with the darker, the roots, and I've tried to give more shadow around, like, where her horns are and the highlights, but it's all just using one pen. And I think the pen I used was it Aubergine? No, it was not Aubergine. It was not that one. It was this one. Pansy. Pansy is the pen I used. And they've also got the brush nib on one side. You've probably seen from the B-roll of me colouring. And the fine nib on the other side. I'm just really enjoying them. And I'm also really pleased to have them all in the little stand. I've organised them all in their, like, colour order. So we start at 0 and then we go through the greys and the browns and the yellows and the greens, and then over to, like, the greeny blues, and then up the blues into the purples and pinks and reds. I've tried to do a bit of a rainbow situation there, all in their numerical order as well. I've just been having a blast with them, and I've wanted to try out the Ohuhu alcohol markers. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Ohuhu alcohol markers for such a long time, and I'm really glad to now have them. So yeah, thank you once again to Ohuhu for sending me this. It's been such a great activity for just listening to my audiobook as well. Like, when I'm listening to an audiobook, I like to have something to do with my hands. Like, I've been doing a lot of scrapbooking. Puzzling is good for it. Colouring is good for it as well. So it's nice to have, like, a proper setup with all the pens there at my desk ready for me to colour when I listen to an audiobook. So I've had a really good time. Also, something else that I wanted to point out, spiral binding on this, so that it's just a game changer. If you are at all interested in picking up a set of Ohuhu markers for yourself, they come in so many different sets. Obviously this is one of the biggest sets, but they come from the 24 colour sets all the way up to the 320, I think, colour sets. So lots of options if you wanted to, like, start off with a smaller set or go big with a big set. But as I say, you can really layer these colours, so I feel like you don't need to be, like, immediately thinking, oh, I'm gonna have to get every single shade, because they are really layerable, which I enjoy. So I think even if you were to get a 24 colour set, like, there's still so much possibility with that. But if you were wanting to check them out, they are available on Amazon. Just search Ohuhu markers, or I will leave a link to them down below as well. So go and check them out. I am a fan, and I will continue to use them. Thank you, Ohuhu, for partnering with me on this little segment. I appreciate it. And then in terms of what I've been listening to whilst I have been doing that, it's been Paladin's Grace, and I am apparently only 120 pages in. I thought I was a bit further than that. Well, let me check that. Did I listen to more and not change my place? Or no, that's genuinely where I am. I thought I was further than that. Based on how much colouring I've been able to do, I thought I was further along. But so far, so good. There's been a murder. There is a mystery. One of our characters is a paladin. One of our characters is a perfumier, a master perfumer, and sparks fly. They feel something. They barely know each other, but they got the hots for each other. And then someone goes and gets murdered, and they witness a death and get tied up in that, I guess. Not super duper far, but I really like T. Kingfisher's writing style. And that is still the case here. I've heard people say this is like cozy fantasy. I've heard people say that that is not by definition what cozy fantasy should be. Like, I kind of get where people are coming from with the cozy vibe. Like, it's just, like, obviously a murder mystery isn't by definition cozy. And there is, like, some violence, and there is betrayal, and there is, like, a scheme, and it has greater plot than a typical cozy fantasy where it's just vibes. So it's not in that respect, but it is in the case of, like, it's just a cozy good time. I will try and give you some more cohesive thoughts when I've finished it, but that is that. Anyway, I'm going to London tomorrow, so have some B-roll from that probably. I can't imagine I will vlog a great deal or read a great deal because I'm going to be with friends. But we're going to go to the Tate Modern Art Museum. Is it a museum? Gallery? That'll be fun. Never been before. Don't really know what to expect. That's about all I have to tell you. Okay. I'm going to go now. Enjoy art. Hello, I am doing that thing again that I keep doing where every clip of me talking is me just sat in the exact same spot in this room, which is why I did the whole Days in the Life vlog where I tried to not be doing that, but here I am doing that again. I need to get better at that. Anyway, I am here with an update. It's Monday, I've been to work, I'm home from work, and I'm doing some sprints on Patreon because I missed my patrons. I love hanging out with this guy. This guy? These guys is what I meant, not this guy. There's not one guy. These guys. I love hanging out with these guys. And Wednesday was just too far away. And I always do sprints on Wednesdays, but heck, if I fancy it on a Monday, here we are. Anyway, update for reading of my book. I think I'm about halfway-ish now. I am on chapter 25, which is page 179. And I'm really enjoying this. I'm still feeling that, like, it could be considered like a cozy fantasy. The romance is cute. I like it. Like, they're both like so kind of oblivious of each other. And then at the same time, we've got this murder mystery political plot going on as well. And there's like a spy. One of them is friends with a spy, and the other one's obviously a paladin and is a sworn man in service and so on. So it feels like there's a lot of layers going on to this, but then at the same time, these two characters just pining after each other and being really oblivious about it. It's cute and I'm enjoying. So having a fantastic time with that. I'm hoping that I might actually just sit and finish it tonight because I'm on sprints anyway, so I'm going to keep reading, and I'm hoping that I might finish it tonight because I'm listening to the audiobook. But tonight, another activity to do whilst listening to an audiobook. What have I done so far whilst listening to an audiobook in this? I've done lots of colouring, obviously. I made my little cat bus and co things. Walking, obviously. But what I want to do now is build this. This little Mega Bloks Eevee Pokemon creation that Soph got me for my birthday. I'm going to try and build this. I'm hoping it's going to be easier than I think it's going to be. But I think it's a good activity for whilst listening to an audiobook. And as that's my plan, that's what I'm going to do. So let's open this up and see what we've got actually going on in here. So as always the way, actually opening the box is the hardest part. Haha, yes. Ooh, lots of pieces. Okay, so there's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. So they're the tiles to actually build the art, I think. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, I think, builds the frame. I got this. Let's give this a go. Hello, it is a few hours later. Can confirm, did finish the little Eevee Lego situation here, or Mega Blocks, because it's not Lego, and I absolutely love it, and I now want every other one that they do. They do all of the generation ones. All of the generation ones? No, they don't do all of the generation ones. They do the generation 1 starters. So, Charmander, Bulbasaur, Squirtle, and then they do Pikachu as well. And I now want all of them because this is stinking adorable and it is going to go up on my Pokemon shelf and just be part of that display up there because I love it. It's so cute and I now want all of them. So that's that completed. Another fun audiobook listening activity, and I have also gone back to doing more colouring, and I'm seeing as well if I can like layer up some of the blacks. I did finish the other one as well. I don't know if you care to see my finished colouring works, but I'm going to show you anyway, just in case. If you're a patron of mine, you see them all anyway, because when I finish them and I'm proud of them, I show them off. There we go. I finished this girl. Ta-da! She's not my favourite. I'm not loving the colour scheme. I don't love the purple butterflies. Maybe purple wasn't a good choice there, but it is what it is. And I'm, yeah, gonna do a darker hair and see if I can get some of the, like, shading with a single pen again, which is, I mean, I think is already working. And that's, like, with having just started. So I'm excited to continue doing that. And anyway, in the meantime, I've finished my audiobook. I have finished Paladin's Grace by T. Kingfisher. So I did indeed read like half of this today. And that just proves that when I'm in the mood to actually settle down and get my book read, I can do it. So I'm very glad to have done it and actually finished the book. I really enjoyed this one. I'm going to give this one 4 stars. Not my favourite T. Kingfisher. Not overall like my favourite thing in a book. Like, I wasn't like totally hooked in and felt like my heart was being ripped out and stuff, which is what a 5-star needs to be for me. But I had a really good time. Like, I was entertained, I was happy, I felt the coziness of it, but also I felt the stakes of it. I really liked the direction that this went with the mystery element. The resolution was almost humorous, which I think then kind of leans back into that like cozy fantasy genre, and it felt kind of like a blend. Like, the stakes were high, there was disastrous consequences on the line, but I think because of the characters and the characters' relationships and how certain things were delivered, it still kind of also stayed in the realm of cozy fantasy. So it was a good balance and just what I wanted it to be, really. So I'm really glad to have read this. I do plan to continue, which I'm really pleased about because I love these covers and I really wanted to buy all of them, and I restrained myself and was like, no, just the first one because you might not like it. Now I know I like it, I can get all of them with these incredible covers that I love. So hurrah to that. Now, I don't know what to do next. I don't know when to end this vlog. I don't know how much content we've got in this. I'm not really vlogging to a plan at the minute. So, I'm not sure what that means. So, let's just keep going and we'll see. Maybe I'll import all this footage at some point and see where we're at. But I do believe I have only read the one book for you. But I feel like I've done a lot of other stuff. So I should read another book. Do I want another audiobook so I can continue colouring? I kind of do. I think that is kind of what I want to do. So I need to either find one of them or pick out something else that I want to read. But as for right now, I'm going to go to bed because it's late and I've got work tomorrow. But what do I read tomorrow? I don't know. Hello. I have decided this vlog can be a little bit longer. Maybe like another book, because I only read one book, but it's already quite long. I have imported and edited up to this point, and I feel like you can have some more. So let's have some more. I'm not really on much of a deadline for this to be over. I don't know. Anyway, hi. I've just finished work for the day. And I have decided that this is the next book that I'm going to read. Interesting choice, because my mental health isn't like in the best space it's ever been, but mainly that's because of stress. Like otherwise I'm pretty happy, I'm just stressed, so we'll see. But I want to dive, I want to eat tteokbokki, part memoir, part self-help about this depressed girl and her conversations with her psychiatrist. I'm really intrigued about this one. I have started it and I am 37 pages in. It's not super duper long, so I probably could actually just read that all this evening. Probably going to be quite deep, maybe going to be quite hard-hitting, maybe going to be eye-opening, I don't know. I'm open to whatever this is going to tell me. I'm intrigued, and something about it right now is just calling me to be read. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read it whilst it's like top of my priority list on my mind, and we'll see how far I get with that tonight. In other news, I have my nail appointment tonight. The last time I had my nails done was before my hen do, and I got them to kind of match my hair, whereas these nails will be the nails that I go to Norway with. So I don't know what I want. Maybe something blue, maybe something kind of like, I'm thinking blue skies, fjords, like a bluey grey, maybe. We'll see. I don't normally do like art. I just go for a standard colour. So let's go to my nail appointment. I don't have an audiobook to listen to because I am physically reading this. So let's go to my nail appointment. Unfortunately, it's been one of those evenings where I got back from my nail appointment and I have just done nothing. And I really wanted to sit and read this. And what have I done instead? Nothing. Nothing. So no progress on that. But nails, I said I was going to go for like a grey blue. So we've got 3 of like a darker grey and then a little accent lighter blue to give us the grey blue look. So I said I normally go for solid colour. It's still solid colour, but just a little bit of variety in there. So fresh nails, complete. It is now the sort of time of day where it is cool enough for me to... But at the same time, I really just want to sit and read. So I need to see if that's an audiobook that's available anywhere, actually. Like, if that's on BookBeat, then that would be amazing. Okay, not on BookBeat. So no audiobook, which means that can't say the word because, yeah, is gonna mean no reading, which is sad because I really did want to just cozy up and read. But it must be done, so I'm gonna get ready to do that. Hello, I have returned. It's been a couple of days, I think, since that last clip, because I wanted to come back to you when I had finished this book. And unfortunately, I didn't love this. I didn't love the writing. I didn't love the way it was told. And I also didn't really relate as much as I perhaps wanted to. And I think that is very possibly just because the type of depression written about here and the type that I have experienced are different. And, you know, that's okay. And I'm sure there are lots of people that can relate to the way this was told. But I didn't necessarily. So as much as I thought that this was going to be heavier and more hard-hitting, I think because I was missing that sort of connection with it, and without like going into explaining my mental health and my history and explaining everything in the book, I'm not going to be able to like effectively give you that comparison. Honestly, nor would I want to. But I think, yeah, because I didn't relate, it didn't hit me as hard, it didn't feel as impactful or emotional as maybe it could have. I don't disagree with the reviews on the back of here. Incredibly honest and offer a brave insight as to how the mind can trick you into believing situations. I get that. The unique feeling of knowing someone in the world is not okay right now and both of you will be fine. Yeah. Raw honesty and candid writing. Yeah, I mean, I get that. It is a very honest recounting of conversations with the psychiatrist. Like, that is what this is. It is part memoir, part self-help. So it is a very honest expression, but it just didn't hit me. The review here, if there was one word to sum this book up, it is scene. I didn't get that. Maybe this. There's one here. For those of us who can relate to the unassuming, persistent, spread out weight of sadness that doesn't quite feel worthy of the title depression, this is the book. And again, without explaining my own situations and like going through my conversations with my therapist, I can't, you know, it's not worth comparing either. That's not the point I'm trying to get at. That obviously is not what I'm getting at. It's not a comparative exercise. It's just, I thought that I would relate more, so I thought that it would hit me a little bit harder than it actually did. And I wasn't necessarily a fan of the jumping around in conversations with the psychiatrist. Like, in terms of a book, we're missing an awful lot of the context. We only learn the context through the conversations with the psychiatrist, which is the point of the book. I feel like I'm doing a bad job, so I'm going to stop. I've given this one 3 stars. I'm glad I've read it, but I wanted to love it more than I did. Okay, and with that said, I am going to wrap this video up here because it's been a couple days. I'm going to move on to something fresh and new, and I feel like I might have a little bit of reading mojo back. Like, I feel excited to pick up another book. So, all my fingers crossed that that sticks around. So hopefully I will read more and, I don't know, lean less on hobbies, but I have been really enjoying the hobbies, and I hope that you've enjoyed this little insight to, well, yeah, hobbies and other things that I've been doing whilst I haven't necessarily been massively in a reading mood, but whilst also been listening to an audiobook and taking way too long to read this tiny little thing. But yeah, all right, I'm going to stop rambling because I really am rambling. Thank you once again to Ohuhu, the pen brand, Ohuhu. Thank you very much to them for working with me on this video. Link down below for them. And yeah, I will see you in whatever comes next. Bye.